Yeah.
That heifer right there just don't even care.
Save yourself now.
Action.
Hey guys.
What do you say, folks? Y'all having a fine Sunday evening? As we try, had us a warm front come in. Now it's cool again, and it's gonna be hot again. Springtime's here. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yes. February the 2nd, so spring's here. But like I said, I hope everybody have a fine evening this Sunday. What do we got? We got 27 of them rolled in here pretty quick.
We be big time.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you. Good to see everybody. While everybody continued meandering in here, holler at everybody right fast.
Hey, Miss Leona. I just saw your name pop up when he took the phone from me, so I couldn't type it.
Oh, Mr. Gary Stewart got in here first. Grayson, Jack and Danae, Mr. Dan Weaver, Ed, son of one.
It's good to see you.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while.
Good to see you, brother. Key, Spearmint there, half tracks. No Life Beekeeper, James Noel. Deb the Sun Bunny, Mr. Mike Tangway. Oh, Mr. Dennis Barney there.
Everybody.
Bee Disaster, Steve Amos.
I seen Mr. Bain. Or did you already say him? I just saw him come in. The other Brian, one of the mini Brians.
Yeah, Baker Bees. Lee, Kodiak over yonder. Oh, who am I missing here? Richard, good to see you. Hallelujah, Bee Farm.
Oh, hey, Todd.
Todd.
Those are all numbers. Another Mike.
Can't believe you bees, Mike. Yep.
Bill.
Yep. The only Mike we ain't seen yet is Mr. Mike Conley. And we was late just for you on that, Captain.
We're sitting here with 13 minutes left on that timer, supposedly ready, and somebody went to pushing buttons.
Well, on my defense, something happened with the thing. The screen went smaller on the phone. I don't know what happened. So I had to smash buttons to get out of it.
There's Mr. Mike. He said he was early, but we were not.
Who's that? Stone River?
Yeah.
Good to see y'all. Mr. Mike said, what's he doing?
He was early.
I doubt that.
And we were not.
Again. He was picking himself up off the floor.
Lee, if you really have to wonder at this point, then I'm worried about you, my friend.
Look, all I did was slid my finger trying to read a comment, and the whole screen went like this, and I was like, we can't read any of it.
The whole thing.
So I had to start all over. So good thing I done it then instead of now. Well, we got through it. We're going to make it. We're going to get through this together, people. One way or another. May be painful, but we'll get through
it. Extremely. There's Mr. Russell.
Yeah, Mr. Russell Koopman, Miss Sharon. Hope y'all doing well. Settling on back in up there in the North Country.
Yeah.
Well, that phone of mine be just
I gotta look at it. I think it was Dennis. He asked me, or he said, "I hope all's well with y'all and the dogs." And I told him, "Well, the dogs are fat and sassy, and we're blessed, so we're good." And he started laughing. He was like, "No joke, I got a dog named Sassy."
Look at him.
Mm-hmm. He's comfy.
Ain't been 10 minutes. We done switched spots over here.
Y'all still ain't got snow, Mr. Russell?
For real?
That's what he said.
That's crazy. They said we broke an 1895 record, and they come down. And it snows down here. Of all places to snow. Snows at the Gulf of America. Then they go home to, hopefully y'all got beautiful bluebird skies, though. I don't know what your temperature is up there, but hopefully things are warming up maybe some for y'all on that end. We supposed to be in the blasted 80s midweek.
Close to 80, like 78.
We'll be at
Well, I tell you what, Ed, you have made DC's night showing up in this chat.
DC done got in here? Who's that?
Yeah, DC just came in, but he is excited.
Mr. Randy, good to see you in here too, Captain. Pardon me. Well, Earl? God love you, brother. What's that say?
Earl.
God bless you all and your bees. Howdy, how are y'all? I'm here. Just keeping quiet. I can there we go. If I push it up, I can read the rest of it.
Earl, I can let people think I'm dumb, or I can open my mouth and prove. You make more sense than a lot of folks, Earl.
I think that's the truth. Even me sometimes, because she looks at me with a dead stare. Remember, like that message I sent to you a while ago or earlier this morning, talking about, she was telling me it's right here, dummy.
When did I say that to you?
Going down the road the other day, whenever Earl sent his message about where they're going to be.
I didn't call you a dummy. I did not call you a dummy.
She said all you had to do was read the thing, and it said right here where Earl's going to be on such and such date and this and that. And I was like,
I still didn't call you names.
Well, I didn't.
He tells me to text the man at 7 o'clock in the morning, "Hey, where are you going to be?" When his last message to you said where he was going to be. And you responded to that message.
I did. I'm guilty of that. All I seen was a picture. Earl sent us a text message with a picture in it, this and that. And I just seen the picture and I was like, oh, that's a pretty place right there where they're going to be. Then,
well, I think he even skipped reading between the lines. Not only did he not read the lines, he didn't even read between the lines.
In my defense, I was driving.
Oh.
See what other excuse I
Oh, no. Mr. Mike said the groundhog seen his shadow. 6 more weeks of winter.
I'm going to tell y'all why. And
did Mr. JW? He must have angered him when he woke him up.
That's exactly what he done because
I didn't get to watch the video.
He didn't have him in it.
Oh.
I guess he'd upset it, and it said 6 more weeks of winter for y'all in the North Country. So that's the only thing. What do you call him? Soapstone Sammy?
Oh, yeah.
I think he called him. But yeah, I was looking forward to seeing that one.
I was too.
Whether, don't get me wrong, JW, but good outcome or bad outcome, because the way we don't have groundhogs, so I couldn't tell you their demeanor and stuff, but seeing folks in the chat talking about, look, that groundhog will eat you alive.
Mr. Gary said French Creek Freddy didn't see his shadow.
No.
Well, he said you were right at Soapstone.
Is that okay? All right. I got to get a kick out of that. So. But yeah, y'all, we've had a pretty good week. Been busy. We back on on schedule, I guess, on our end, far as out of our lull, far as work. Thank the Lord. And we've been down there. I can't get no work out of her hardly because she's too preoccupied with other things at the Gulf down there.
I have not been to the beach one time.
I'm gonna take you when the job's over with.
Yeah.
Well, we got a little crowd in here this morning.
Stephen said we have tulips coming up already.
Tulips?
Yeah. Where are you at, Stephen? I don't remember what state you're in.
We seen Buku Dandelion today. Or was it yesterday?
Brian said Paris the Nutri-Rat didn't see his shadow. Oh my word. I'm gonna have to remember these. French Creek Freddy from West Virginia. Soapstone Sammy in Illinois. And what was his? I just lost it. Paris the Nutri-Rat. Oh man.
Well, when all those
Don't give me any ideas, Mr. Bobby. If he paid me at all, I might work harder.
Huh.
Huh.
Moving on.
Yeah. Real quick.
I don't discuss anybody's pay outside of me.
Especially when it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're talking, Lee. Now you're talking, TC.
Oh.
All right, hey.
Go ahead. Hold that dishwasher thought, because I got something for y'all.
Oh, have we got a story for y'all? I'm going to butcher this name. Punxsutawney Phil in Pennsylvania.
Punxsutawney.
There ain't no T in there. It's a K.
You ain't never watched Bill Murray and Groundhog Day? Punxsutawney Phil?
Oh, Paris the Nutri-Rat's real. He's at the Audubon Zoo in New Orleans. Is that like one of my husband's stories, Brian, or is that a true story?
Just tell us a true story.
Yeah. All right, Stephen's in Tennessee.
And what's he got up there?
Tulips.
Oh,
Mr. Dan said you have it correct. Punxsutawney. He said it's true. That's pretty cool.
Drop that pen. What'd you do with it?
I dropped it. DC had hail.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because what was you saying? Last week, DC, you starting to get into your rainy season there. So, hopefully it won't be too big of a mess out there, a wash for you.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord willing, get on springtime beekeeping for too long, pupils.
DC said he might get some snow tonight. And Minnesota might get 1/5 of an inch of snow.
Minnesota might get 1/5 of an inch.
What he said.
Well, y'all was snowed in, wouldn't you, Cat? Well, what am I going to get into first here?
You need to Propolis first.
Yes.
And then you can take off.
All right. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into the prayer list real quick before I get too carried away with the nonsense.
Hey, Mr. JW. And too, y'all, I have this really bad feeling that I had forgotten to write somebody down that somebody told me about, and I can't remember. So if you're missing or if your request is missing, please let me know. All right. Yeah, Mr. Mark and his wife, Ed and his family, Mr. Pat, the Dirt Rooster's dad, Miss Deb, Grammy Lisa's son and 2 granddaughters, Tom's wife and his mother-in-law, Mr. Donnie, Mike Tangway and his family, DC's parents, Emma Hoskins, baby Luca, and the family that lost their little one, Deanna Wheeler and her son Reed, Rachel Wilson, her sister Amanda, and her niece Riley, Philip's mama, his friend BJ and his wife, Bobby's Bees and his family, Aaron Frederick, Mr. Larry and Miss Sherry Gandy, and Mr. Larry's mama, Keith Larimore, Hillbilly Earl, Steve Amos's brother and mother-in-law, all the war and storm victims, and all the victims and their families in the two plane crash incidents that's happened the last week or so. Where was that? Let's see. TJ Hanley, Stafford Mike, Ricky Rourke, 29 Homestead, Catherine's son and his family, Sarah and her family, all of our government officials, Mr. Randy's mother-in-law, Cece's Texas Garden, Miss Janae Wood, Miss Leona, and she's gonna have a procedure next week. And let's see, she's on the other side, but Miss Jan has she's sick with some kind of stomach flu or something. And they're really praying Miss Leona won't get sick so she can have her procedure. So y'all definitely remember them. Terry Chapman and his family, Kenneth and Chris Wilkinson, Ephraim Kalunga, Terry Bertalan, Redfish's wife, Miss Janet, Kimberly's daughter-in-law and her family, Grammy's friend Deirdre, Mr. Dan Weaver's niece, let's see, the family of the beekeeper near Spanky that passed away, the beekeeper from the stream team that was having the problems, our pastor's wife, Miss Jolynn, and her family, Brian Baker's niece, Allie, Chris Medeiros' friend Jake's wife and their family, Rose Scotty McDowell, Kenneth Allen, David Milan, Steve-O, and then Sarah asked me to add her friend Miss Dolores, said they had a lot going on. And then Jody Taylor from the Taylor Boys Outdoors. They've been in a lot of people's chats, but his dad passed away. So definitely remember their family.
Excellent. And you said the DC stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like Washington, DC, not DC. Bees. DC.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Bob and his family, Jane? Said we all need to pray for Bob Walker and family.
For Bob and family. Did we miss something?
Okay. DC said Bob is sick. He needs our prayers. Well, we got him back down here. Y'all definitely keep everybody in prayer, especially our little beekeeping community and everybody that's
Absolutely.
under the weather or fixing to go through a procedure or just got heavy hearts, whatever it may be right now.
Yes.
If we could also use it.
Prayers.
Lord, yeah. Let's see. On my beekeeping news. Probably gonna get out tomorrow. I'll have my right hand man with me.
It's his birthday tomorrow too, y'all. He didn't tell y'all that.
I wouldn't fix and bring all that up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Somebody has to.
little Ollie man, one y'all hear at the end,
Or outro.
yeah, the outro there, he's going to come hang out with Uncle Tim for today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to turn an 8-year-old loose with a skill saw, brand new blade at that.
You done lost your mind.
See how good he does. He's got to learn it sometime.
Happy 25th. No, he's going to be 43, DC. He said, how old? I can ask him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I bet he is, Danae. She said, Ollie's my favorite honey judge.
Oh, yeah. We'll be sure to mention it to him tomorrow, too.
Mm-hmm.
Say, you remember Jack and Danae? Because he remembers it's me again, Joey. And
he will never forget me again, Joey, or Danae.
And who else was it up there that was running? Jack and Danae, me again,
Mr. Russell.
Mr. Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But yeah, we're gonna get out.
He looks good for his age, don't he, DC? He said 43. Wow, I thought you were in your late 30s.
Oh yeah. I got my mama's beauty
Mm-hmm.
and my daddy's attitude, so
yeah,
works out pretty good there on that end.
DC said, yeah, he's holding up well.
Well, on some of that note, everybody that I run into, for the most part, no matter whether it don't matter a state or just a gas station, we run into somebody. Oftentimes, I honestly went to school with these people, and I tell Hannah, "Oh, that's old so and so. I went, middle school, high school with them, this and that." And she's like, "They look like they're in their mid-60s."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "No, we're the exact same age." You know what I'm saying? She's like, "No, for real, they look like they're in their mid-60s, kind of thing." I'm like, well, I don't know, but thank you, Lord, for sparing me these many years. I'll say that.
Ed said Friday was him and Miss Chris's anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary, you two.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Mike. Did we tell him happy birthday? Did you tell us it was your birthday last week? I can't even remember. But if we didn't, then happy birthday.
Yep. We do apologize on that.
Mr. Dan said some of us age with grace.
And like fine wine.
Well, I'm sorry, Mike. Happy birthday, though.
We're missing everybody. We're going to have to do like Lee.
Yeah.
And do a birthday
We need a calendar. And organizational skills. And a better memory.
Get Lee to copy and paste his list. I can tell him how to do that.
Gary said when I was 18, I looked old for my age, and it was cool. Not so much today.
And I ain't cool no more.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of my biggest things have been, and I appreciate it, and I see good raising from parents kind of thing, but down here, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, and no sir are very big deals.
When the kids start ma'aming and sirring you, you know you're getting old.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And I have been getting that from a good friend of ours, his twin boys. They're in their 20s. But they'll come help us from time to time at work, and it's like, well, yes sir, and I'm going, don't stop them, because that's what their daddy told them to do, but at the same time,
it's hard not to tell them, don't go putting me that off.
Yes, come on, boys. I'm not that much older than y'all, kind of thing. So, but that it has been one of the biggest things, I guess, of getting the age. I do not know how to not yet act. I
don't think you're ever going to learn that.
Because I ain't never been here yet. But on another note, thank y'all, everybody. Appreciate that. And just for a side note, hers is the 19th of this month.
Nowhere near. No.
Well, you
This
put
is
it in your
about
calendar.
you.
We're one, so let's go together. All right. Got swarm boxes. Ollie, man, gonna come help me tomorrow. What you got?
Oh, you tell him, Joey. That's not an age thing, but a respect thing. But I was laughing at Bill's comment. Tim, you're 43. It's time to start thinking about retirement.
Hey, I was thinking about retirement in my 20s. It's just getting to that retirement.
Ouch.
But listening to all the
Steve, thank you so much.
what is it? 5 memberships? God, love you.
Memberships.
There you go,
That
folks.
was awesome, Steve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We appreciate that.
Well, who'd it hit on?
Clay, Flower Street Farm, Redfish, Miss Melanie Cruz, and Mr.
Roy. Yes, sir. Thinking about that. Mr. Roy, that picture you tried to email the other day, it would not load or it wouldn't
Download?
Yeah, I guess so. But when I tried to open it, it just wouldn't open, period. It would just stay in the email, whatever that means.
You couldn't download the attachment?
No, because it didn't have an option to download the attachment. It just had an itty bitty, I'm talking about a little bitty box. I mean, that thing wasn't big as a minute. And even me trying to hit that little box, it wouldn't let me download or even open the picture. So, shoot it to me in a text, and we'll try to get it loaded up for the next run.
Mr. JW said you better watch what you wish for about retiring. And Earl said, I can't act my age. I'll fall over dead.
Well, the only hiccup with this retirement talk real quick, is all the gentlemen I know that are already retired. They tell me that they say, son, that, even though you're retired, more work's going to pick up because people figure out you have more time on your hands. So the people that used to call on you here and there, this and that, are going to go, oh, he's got all this time now that he's retired and he can take and come on and do these projects, what have you. But I'm going to tell y'all what, I ain't going to lie. If the Lord ever wills to where I can hang up my tool belt, I'm going to hang that baby up in a long leaf pine to where nobody can get to it, kind of thing. Because I'm over wearing tool bags for a living. Grateful for it. Don't get me wrong. But it's me and Hannah was having this conversation the other day. We got to find something else easier to do.
Dixie said I still have my tool belt.
I know. I mean, I've had mine since I was 17 years old, and I paid almost $300 for that bag back then. And it's rode out all these years, framing houses, doing what we do.
Is falling apart.
It's still got a couple of miles left on it. But, yes.
Mr. JW is on his 4th retirement.
See, there you go. See, it never ends. It's like that song. The song that never ends. Yeah. It goes on and on, my friends. I was singing that to her the other day, too. But, what was that?
Yeah, I'm going to add myself to the prayer list. Because I'm locked in a vehicle for at least 4 hours a day with this. I can't walk away.
Shake your pom-poms. Shake your pom-poms.
Shake your pom-poms. I'm like, you don't even know the original song. You just know the beat to it.
That was on the sign, though.
Mm-hmm.
Any of y'all ever been down here on the Gulf? At Orange Beach, there's a wharf. And that's a big old concert venue place, what have you. And there's some pretty big artists that comes down there and does their concerts and all this kind of good stuff. But on the wharf sign, it's just real kind letters. It says, shake your palms.
With a picture of palm trees.
With palm trees. So
7 o'clock every morning. He's singing Shaky Pom Poms in the truck.
That's it. We passed
And
the
I'm
sign.
out of coffee by that point. Mike said I used to wish I could sing. Now I wish still could.
Which one was that?
I can't believe he's Mike.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Dan, please. No, I can't take it. I can't take it. I'll put my earbuds in. I can't do that.
Oh, some Swifty music?
Yeah.
I don't even know any of her songs, but we can find one.
I will turn on the Shrek soundtrack before I turn on Taylor Swift. Literally, I will.
What was that other
Well,
song?
Joey, man, share the wisdom. How are you doing it? He said, I'm trying to finish making my 3rd million. When I do, I'll stop trying to make money.
Yeah, let us know how you make the first.
I know, Gary. I've got earbuds, but when I'm locked in the truck, he can go louder than my earbuds will go.
Oh, and I'll get out there too.
Oh, he will.
I will sing vocally. It may not be pretty, but it'll get out there. My wife supports me in everything that I do.
Everything. I'm right behind him. I am right behind him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Backing up on a second. DC put hashtag dishwasher. And this is for Mr. Steve Amos, DC, and I know I'm the one that put my foot in my mouth that night about the dishwasher thing. But after thorough research on things, and especially the horrific event that went on Friday evening for us with a dishwasher, that ended it. Nope. Terrible. We're working on that condo down there, y'all. All right. And we finally get to a point where I got all the plumbing work done on this place. We can test run all the sinks and faucets, make sure no leaking pipes. Well, we got done with that. Perfect. No issues. Moving over. There's a little bitty dishwasher.
18-inch dishwasher. Dude, silly.
So I was like, well, let's run this dishwasher through a cycle and see what happens. Y'all, let me tell you something. I turned that knob. There wasn't no buttons for me to push, but there was a knob. Turn that baby onto the on button. She started cranking up, and it wasn't about 5 seconds later. You heard electricity, and she's like, "It's sparking!"
There's like giant orange sparks that were big enough to look like flames shooting out from under this dishwasher, and I'm going, I will kill us if we burn this stupid condo down over a dishwasher.
She's hollering at me,
Turn it off, for the love of humanity, turn it off.
Well, then I kind of get into panic mode, and I'm like, I'm trying,
He's trying to pull it open while it's still locked. He forgot to turn the knob to off.
So, dishwashers are dangerous.
I don't know what it is, Stacy. My money is the person that put it in didn't hook it up right.
Yes. The only thing we can figure. If we didn't hook it up, I didn't do no power work or nothing to that particular
Steven,
project.
I was not even thinking about pulling a camera out. I was thinking, God, please don't let it be on fire.
Oh, yeah, because when we pulled that kick plate out, Bubba, let me tell you something. The smoke come boiling out from underneath that thing.
Bad.
And we was like, huh. I told her, I said, well, just go turn the breaker off. And then she's like, whoa, the breaker. And, yeah, the ones we was
is it going to kill me? Is it going to unalive me if I touch that thing? Is that why you're sending me to do it? So you don't get shot?
Well, somebody's got to go for help.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
But yeah, we got remedied. That's that. And that'll be a next week's project. But that's what's going on in our world. During all that, had some good conversation with Mr. Mike Conley. Been talking to him most mornings headed down there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, him and Earl. Earl texted on the way down there. One morning we chit-chatted for a few minutes. That's where the picture come in. Earl, I'll let you divulge all that information if you want to on what your plans are on that. But we look forward to it, and we cannot wait for that particular date and time. But got to talk to Mr. Mike Conley. We was chewing the fat back and forth, this and that. He's telling me about how well his bees was doing. He got back to Alabama from Tennessee. Bees are doing well.
Y'all make some good points. I'm
There we
sorry.
go.
Oh gosh. Well, Brian Baker said when him and Miss Kathy first got married, she filled the dishwasher cup with gold. He said, I've never seen so many suds. And then Steve Amos said if Hannah got incapacitated, Tim would have a dishwasher in a week. He probably would. Have any of y'all ever heard of it was a book first, but they made a movie called Cold Sassy Tree? Because if you've never heard of it, then there's no point in me telling you. But I was telling Tim about it the other day. I was like, you're going to be like that grumpy old man on Cold Sassy Tree. Oh, DC, I figured you would have heard of it. But the part where the old man grandpa and the wife passes away and he marries the young spinster woman in town or whatever, and he wouldn't give his wife indoor plumbing, indoor electricity, not even a pump at the sink. But then as soon as she goes on and the new one comes in, within a week he's running indoor electricity and lights with switches and indoor plumbing and build a bathroom. I was like, yeah, that's going to be you.
I don't think so. So look, that one there, she's been with me a long time, and she knew how it was when I got done dragging them tools out. I ain't fixing to pull them back out at home.
Yeah.
Unless I got to.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Dan said his wife did the same thing. It took over 10 cycles to clear the suds out of that fancy machine.
Oh, mercy. That's crazy. And they're running, I guess that is a bunch of bubbles in one of them rascals.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't have thought it would be that bad, though. I put it in the washing machine a couple times when I ran out of detergent.
You want to save this one for complete derailment?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that pretty well concludes the beekeeping news until derailment time in a little bit. But this would be an interesting question, I believe, for a lot of you.
Joey. He said I always had to cut my parents' yard with a push mower. The week of my wedding, they went and bought a riding mower.
Oh, come on. Lord mercy. Mom and Daddy.
That's hilarious.
Just shake your head. Are y'all for real?
And they probably died laughing when they saw the look on your face.
Yeah, just his face melt. Top of the line, riding mower.
Todd, was that a public water fountain? That's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
Hey, Todd,
in a public water fountain. My mama has skinned me alive for that.
Well, the old big water fountain that used to be at Double Branch there. Remember me telling you about how it used to always get filled up? The teenage kids would fill up this one. There's a big old fountain for this one community, yuppie neighborhood thing. But where their fatal mistake was, they put the fountain at the highway. So it wasn't technically no trespassing. And that's what the kids would do, would just go dump a whole bunch of Dawn dishwashing liquid off in this fountain, and it would just boil over with
senior prank. They didn't do stuff like that for senior pranks down here, but there ain't no fountains in the schools that I know of down here either.
No, folks will dragging livestock through the halls and stuff like that around here, listening to some of your daddy's tales, especially what.
Heck, even when me and my brother were in high school, his senior year, and no, I had nothing to do with this, but it was a bunch of wild hogs got turned loose in the school the night before graduation, and every one of them fools went to jail for it.
Sweet.
It was hilarious.
Come on home, boys.
They almost didn't get their diplomas for that stuff.
I tell you what, we'll open up the chat. Y'all want to chit chat? Come on in. If not, then we got kind of a
Try to stay on track some tonight.
kind of a continuance to last week, but it's I don't think the M's are mentioned in there.
We rolled smoke bombs down the hall.
See, it done it again. I just put the thing in and see how it just made the screen go where there ain't nothing else up there. Maybe it'll come on back.
Mr. Bubble.
Don't you go push now. If something happens, it's on her.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why I just started doing that.
Well, don't touch that button, Tim. You think you learned first time.
Well, I'm just trying to.
I think it's just on our end there. It doesn't look like it changed.
I know, but I can't see the. Then whenever is Philip in here? Have you seen him yet?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get back.
It laid out.
No, that's the what you got.
I don't know what you did.
I don't know why it does that. Or has done that. Started doing that. Anyway. We'll figure it out later.
You can't show picture.
No, can't show the picture. I had a good picture of old Philip. But I guess I should have done it first. I don't know. And I know it ain't nothing.
He's here, but he's driving.
No. I know it ain't anything that Lee could fix. I know for sure.
I don't know what you did.
I just scrolled up. That was it. I did the same thing a while ago whenever I scrolled up to put the link in there. But
I don't know.
We'll save it for next week if it don't act right or something in a few minutes. But getting back to, I guess, an actual topic we chit-chat on was discussing, what was we discussing? Oh, the essential oils and the M's. If you want to kill your M's, here's the science and all that stuff to do it. Okay. Remember, we filled up the square jar.
I didn't.
A whole bunch. Oh, you use it a lot. Way more than I did last week. That's for sure. Ask people.
Not last week.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else did.
But anyway.
Moving on.
the lemongrass and spearmint helping out with the potential of virus from the M's, because undoubtedly the virus is what's killing the bees, not the M's pulling the hemoglobin out of the bees, kind of thing. But I got to researching on that a little bit more as far as just the virus effect. And potentially adding this little bit to the lemongrass and the spearmint for the bees having ailments, upset stomachs, viral infections, and things like that. Adding propolis to that mix with the lemongrass and spearmint. So now you'll have a total of 3 going in, but this is for viral. So, like I said, done some rummaging around, got back on one of these science websites, trying to figure out a little bit more on it and what they were saying. And a lot of this, y'all, I'm not going to read because it is just, they did, all it is the notes from a study, but it has got every single little, broke it down to this and broke it down to that, and you can reference it here and reference it there. But a lot of it goes back to the fella Armine. Okay. Dr. Armine, the one we were speaking about last week. Y'all bear with me, we're gonna get somewhere with it. Okay. That was the dude from West Virginia University. Okay. He come down and helped Florida State University in one of their runs of Kill the M's. All right. Well, going back and reading what Armine did with the Florida State University, they had great success in using they made it out of grease and lemongrass essential oil, spearmint essential oil, and I think a little bit of thyme is what they had in there, like very little bit of thyme in there, essential oil. And they had, these astronomical numbers of killing the M's and all that. Well, then it kind of led up a little bit in there on the potential of those also killing the viruses that the M's are putting into the bees. Okay. But once again, it goes a step further with Nosema and American foul brood. But this is where I was like, all right, if the science people are saying all this is true from the studies that they've done, all that plastic propolis that many of us get aggravated with, ourselves included, and we just scrape out, throw away, get rid of it, basically. Are we doing more harm than good with that by throwing all that propolis out? We're cleaning things up and scraping it off and getting it all, nice and neat in there for us to work with. But are we doing more harm than good by removing that propolis out of there for them? Yeah. So get on a couple of key points on this. Like I said, be pretty interesting to some of y'all. Some of you may already know this, don't want nothing to do with it. But this is from Journal of Insect Science. And with me saying that, the Armine Dr. Armine, we've been talking about. Okay. This dude, his specialty is, I can't pronounce the name, but I looked it up for dummy terms. And all this guy, his whole focus and study is on ticks and mites.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all the man studies. And he's been doing this, I think they said, since like 85, all the way up until present date. But so you got a man that studies parasitic mites and ticks and things like this. And they're trying to figure out ways to unalive them. Then fast forward a few years is whenever the varroa come in, and now you're starting to get viruses from the varroa. So how are ways to possibly prevent the bees from getting the viruses? And it says effects of ingested essential oil and propolis extracts on honeybee health and gut microbiota. Microbiota. I probably said that all wrong, but anyway. The introduction, the biggest current threats to honeybee health in the global beekeeping industry include parasites and pathogens, malnutrition, and pesticides. Many beekeepers apply synthetic chemicals to control pests and diseases. However, several of these treatments, including oxytetracycline, cycline, some kind of fluvinate, something, which are miticides, antibiotics, and fungicide, have seemingly negative consequences on bee health. Increased understanding of the risk of the uses and the emergence of miticide resistance have created an urgent need for more sustainable inputs in beekeeping. Several plant natural products are used by beekeepers as sustainable alternatives to synthetic chemical treatments. Certain essential oils have been used for controlling the mites and fighting microbial infections, albeit with mixed results. Thyme, lemongrass, and spearmint oils are some of the most widely used essential oils administered to bee colonies in sugar syrup or patty form. Thymol, the main constituent of thyme oil, serves as an active ingredient for commercial products aimed at controlling the M's, varroa mites.
You already blew it.
Yeah. In vitro assays have shown that thyme oil and its constituents inhibit the growth of several fungal and bacterial honeybee pathogens. Lemongrass oil, which is predominantly composed of, y'all remember these words, neural and geraniol. That's what we was talking about. What was in the lemongrass, as far as if you wanted to break your compounds down to make a swarm lure. But lemongrass, which is predominantly composed of neural and geraniol, and spearmint, which contains high amounts of carbone and lemony, I'm going to say, and used as feeding stimulants as bee feed additives. As with thyme oil, some of the vitro work demonstrates that inhibitant of growth of some honeybee pathogens by both lemongrass oil, spearmint oil. Essential oil shows some potential for beekeepers as natural treatments, but little work has been done to explore their full effects on honeybee health. That's going to be one of my things. Now, why is that? Why has there been, I guess, so little research on, I guess, the essential oils versus so much research on chemical treatments? And my guess is it's a money thing. But moving on from that, Propolis is another, how do they have that? Plant natural product that confers health benefits to honeybees. Honeybees manufacture propolis by mixing collected plant resins with varying amounts of wax. This mixture is deposited at the nest entrance and the nest interior surrounding the inner surface area of what is called a propolis envelope. Propolis is comprised of flavonoids, phenolics, esters, and terpenes, but the exact photochemical composition depends on local floral. Ingestion of propolis extracts induces expression of several cytochrome subfamily genes, which are involved in the metabolism of phytochemicals obtained from the bee diet. Keratin and polyphenol flavonoid found abundantly in propolis, nectar, and honey acts as a substrate for the pesticide detoxifying enzymes as well as other enzymes. In vitro assays, field studies have shown. In vitro assays and field studies have shown that propolis and its constituents can reduce levels of pathogens, including, it's a long word for larva, but basically what it is, it's the larvae of the American foul brood, that which in turn creates the spores. I believe I'm still right on that. And also nosema and some viruses. As such, it is hypothesized that propolis deposits in the hive may serve as an extension of the bee immune system, allowing bees to save energy by reducing costly immune functions. There's some evidence that honeybee colonies self-medicate with propolis by resin foraging in response to a pathogen challenge, supporting the idea that propolis plays a role in social immunity. In a colony setting, a propolis envelope has been shown to result in lower expression of immunity-related genes in 7-day-old worker bees across the season. Although it is generally thought that the honeybees do not naturally consume propolis, feeding propolis extracts may impact bee health. One study showed that the bees fed propolis extracts had increased expression of antimicrobial peptides following a bacterial challenge. This finding suggests that propolis consumption enabled a stronger induction of the bee's innate immune response. Therefore, when challenged with nosema, propolis fed bees had lower spore levels and improved survival. So if we leave the propolis alone, is there a chance, like I say once again, we're kind of maybe putting them in a bind by reducing their medicine load, by removing whatever they bring in? I'm going to say the bees is pretty smart from what we figured out the last few years. I don't think they're going to be bringing in, they'll have a surplus, don't get me wrong, but I don't think like they're just going to build out way too much to the point of, hey, we can't put it anywhere anymore. However, full effects of ingested propolis on honeybee health remain largely under study. Here we conduct a laboratory study to investigate the effects of ingested natural plants, lemongrass, spearmint, and thyme, and 2 propolis extracts, one from Louisiana. So you Louisiana folks, here you go. And one from Brazil on worker bee health. We tested the impacts of ingested natural plant products on the gut which plays a vital role in host immunity, pathogen defense, metabolism, detoxification, and can be affected by ingesting phytochemicals. Prior work suggests that exposure to propolis can stabilize the honeybee microbiome, but little research has been done on how ingestion might influence the gut. Here we examine the impacts of ingested natural plants on bee lifespan, body weight, absolute quantities of 8 core gut
microbiota.
Yeah, say that loud for everybody.
Microbiota.
Yeah, taxa. Transcription expression of 6 genes associated with detoxification, immunity, and nutritional status, and overall health. Overall, this study aimed to provide a more holistic understanding of how natural plants, feed additives impact honeybee health.
Philip, we don't need to have this discussion again.
Where are we going?
The correct pronunciation of propolis.
Yes, not propolis.
Mm-hmm.
Pro. Let's say it together.
I already said it.
Okay. The propolis extracts, it's a long section again too, but basically all they done is to shorten it down to a smaller version. Is the exact same way as we would make a propolis tincture. Okay. They was using 70% ethanol, which is just, whatever you could get from I don't know if everybody has an ABC store, but your local liquor store, to do your propolis tincture with the exact same way. They put so much in there, let it all break itself down for a couple months, kept it in the dark, strained it all off, made it nice and pretty. Then they made a mixture of the propolis, lemongrass essential oil, and the spearmint together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the treatments included the ethanolic Louisiana and Brazilian propolis extracts, lemongrass oil, spearmint, and thyme. A sugar syrup containing just emulsifiers was used as treatment control. Currently, there is little standardization among beekeepers regarding the dose of essential oils that may be used as feed additives for bees. Therefore, the natural plant treatments in this study were administered at high or low concentration, which I'm going to say the high being 3,000
something per milliliter.
Yeah, to 100, respectively, for both the propolis extracts and essential oils. These concentrations were chosen to represent doses higher. Huh?
Somebody's here. Larimore said the preacher don't like me to go to the liquor store. Hey, Ed.
Hello, everybody.
Turn the volume up. Hang on, we didn't turn the volume up.
You just don't want to hear me now. Okay, I see how that is.
Come on in. You just wanted me to push my mouth on all this jibber jabber.
No, it sort of backs some of the stuff you and I have actually spoke about in the past, about treatments.
Yeah. And with that being said, there's only one other gentleman, and he has kept his little secret. But he was with us that night. We was talking about all that. But Tom, Matt,
Yeah.
Now Tom has been real hush hush about what he's been doing, and on a lot of levels, what we were speaking that night on your live chat, was pretty well going along the lines of, okay, they know these essential oils work. Don't know why people ain't doing it, so on and so forth. But undoubtedly, Tom, we all been kind of channeling together and didn't even know it. And Tom has come up with something that is top secret in his world. And apparently, the way he's talking, he's been having some good results. I don't know what.
I think it's getting close to kind of having it perfected or whatever.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, I think the last time I talked to him, he was talking about it wouldn't be too long until it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I spoke to him off and on a few times. It's just been that there's a lot of stuff hitting the fan. So it's been a while since I've been on.
Mm.
So but that's the thing. It seems like most of the lines I was turning on for a while were all hitting. And I don't, like I said, I don't discourage treatment. I do treat some too, but I'm cautious and limit what I do when I do treat. But it's the same subjects over and over and over again, the same compounds being brought up, and it doesn't sound like anybody was looking other directions.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking outside. We're beekeepers. We're supposed to be outside the box, not in that box.
Mm-hmm.
So we beekeep from outside the box. We need to think that way.
I mean, a lot of it, and we've had this conversation. We've had a conversation with a few others, but apparently, I figure out how I can say this without rubbing the wrong edges, if you will. But
that's why I paused a minute way I was saying stuff, because I don't want to hit nobody's toes.
It just appears a lot of times that there's just one direction to remedy the pest, okay, and especially the M's. And whenever you're constantly having to push a chemical inside the box, no matter what it is, if you're using a chemical base versus trying to use something natural that science has proven, the table of charts are there, all the numbers are there, everything that folks say, I want to see the science and I want to see the paperwork and all this. We're trying to give it to you, but it's just up to you to go back and read further on, is this something you want to do, or if it's, you want to continue the route that you're going down. Now, reading some comments the other night during a live chat, it was brought up that even one of the, what's his name, Dr. Cameron Jack. Now, this is somebody speaking for him. Go back and do your research. But apparently, Cameron Jack was even saying, we don't even know the full effects or anything of oxalic acid. So, if you don't know the full effects and you're still trying to work the science out, you already have science that's already been worked out and proves, 90 to 100% kill rate on the first dose. And it's something you don't have to keep doing every single day or 3 to 4 times during that week. I'm not trying to change nobody's minds or make you go either direction, but just trying to open up another door of, y'all, there's different ways out here. If you're really trying to remedy this issue, then why not go down that route of remedying the issue instead of, well, I still keep getting a count of X amount of mites, whatever it may be. But without me getting too far on that again, as my wife is grabbing my hand to calm me down, that's what drove me into more of, okay, the viruses now. Because now it's being spoken of the viruses are creating these colony collapse disorders, not so much the mite. Okay, the mite, From my understanding, it was the hemoglobin to start with, and that's what was unaliving the bees or causing colony collapse disorder. But now, undoubtedly, it's like there's a transition going into Wellll viruses that the M's are bringing in. So
there definitely is an exposure factor there, just like with chemicals, there's an exposure factor with the pest in the hive. There's definitely an exposure factor to what either they bring or what they do to the bees cause them to be more susceptible to the viruses you're talking about. You know, I mean, that's what I see as far as the you know, the virus portion of it. You know, there's. But would you rather try to struggle along with a weak hive, or just let it go till it does end up perishing, and then that your stronger ones survive, and you just keep moving on? And that's sort of what I've come to on some of it. I've come to a conclusion on is if they're too weak, I don't even bother when I let them go until it peters out, and then clean up and move on because they're livestock.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean we don't care. I'm not trying to be a non-caring individual. I'm just saying that, you know, if you keep trying to keep a floundering hive going, and you're taking from good hives to do that, you know, it eventually still dies. You just wasted that extra time, extra resources that could have gone to splitting making a whole new split that would have replaced them once they just, you know, are done with. Trying to find the right words for that one.
Well, I mean, like you say, there's a point, whether it's viruses or M's or the B's or the A's, to just look, this one ain't gonna make it. You know what I mean? Just instead of putting a whole bunch of time and resources into a colony that is fixing to literally collapse and there's nothing you can do about it, then you just got to move on and work on the ones that are, you know, up and strong enough to sustain. But like I say, what drove me into this was the viruses that the M's are putting into the bees now. Okay, but the whole deal is, are we removing a good thing for them bees whenever we're trying to clean up, if you will, that propolis out of there? Or should we just, I guess, just let them go and see how things are going to work when it comes to that propolis?
Well, I tell you what, I've had a bunch of hives that collapsed, and I'm not taking all the propolis, but I've taken some of it out of the hives that collapsed. Well, I say collapsed. They were either wax moths or hive beetles, and you know, I felt bad because I got out of control, and this year I'm starting to worry already. I'm starting to see a bunch of hive beetles already when I've gone through some of them hives, you know, splitting out and putting the nukes into a 10 frame, and I started noticing some of those nukes had a bunch of hive beetles at the bottom. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna have to figure out something this year to try to knock them suckers back. And I think I'm gonna have a hard time with them again.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think out of the hives that I lost this year, it's a 50-50 on, you know, wax moth or hive beetle. So, and no, you can't just throw a bunch of stuff in there on them other than, well, the hive beetles. People have been using the peppermint, and it seems to limit them, but they're still there.
Good that like Mr. Dan Weaver say, I only take propolis from supers, never from brood frames. If my doggone screen wasn't acting up, I could put everybody's comment up there. And DC saying, yes, you are. The propolis part of the micron immune system. Going back to DC again, a lot of propolis production was selective breed out of many breeding programs for speed. Now, like
So
I said, go ahead. Ed.
Well, there you go back to the factor of what we have done to change the bees' environment too. What are we doing affecting our effect in the hive? We like he said, certain breeds of bees, they bred them to where they produce less propolis, so that you can work a hive quicker and you don't have to pry on it so much. And all in the means and purposes of production. And but I feel propolis is needed.
Well, that was one of the main articles in here too, as well, was the reason that people try to get so much propolis out of there is because of the fact of, I'm having to pry on these doggone frames, or, I can't get things set back the way it was because, how it is when it stretches out, even trying to push it back together, you're going to get that
propolis wedge.
Yeah. And it ain't going to go back like it was before you tried to, pull that frame out and pull it apart. But some of the results that they had on using the propolis mix, lemongrass oil, and spearmint oil was like on the lifespan and survival. And they were saying that they were getting, like with low doses, they were getting X amount, many more days out of that bee's life, versus usually it kind of fell between 2 to 4 more days. From their study, median lifespan is what they're calling it. But say on low doses, instead of it being 16 days, they were getting 18 days. Using the Brazilian propolis. Now, using the Louisiana propolis versus, say, a bee living for 16 days, doing a low dose of the Louisiana propolis mixed with lemongrass and spearmint oil, the bees were living up to 19 and 20 days. So you're getting a little bit longer life span, according to their research, on that bee, on top of that being much more healthier at the time, which is giving that bee a longer lifespan, because it's not, like it's saying, it's not burning up its immune system trying to keep up, because you're feeding it to them. So they're getting this into their system through whether you do a fondant or you want to put it into a syrup or however you want to mix it in to feed. By them feeding it to them, well, that's one of the extra advantages, according to the study, is that you're getting a few more extra days work production out of that single bee. And I think in the study, where does it have it here? They pulled 50 bees from 6 or 8 different colonies, and they put them into little cages, about the best way to explain it. And they fed them on these effects of, okay, we're not going to give you anything. We're going to give you just propolis. Then we're going to give these other ones propolis with the essential oils. And the ones given the propolis with the essential oils to ingest, that's whenever you was getting the longevity of stronger bees and the bees living a little bit longer through all that.
you know, that goes to show you too that maybe that I know that's not a hate to say the use of the appy tabs when they first put them into the box, some of the boxes, you had that immediate response, but then I've seen some too where they've had where it just sort of peters out after a while too. So there's because a lot of the essential oils you're talking about are probably in the appy tab.
Well, in the appy tablet, you got peppermint, thyme, spearmint. Mercy, there was a list of them on there. What was in the appy tablets? Then I'm pretty sure. Let me go back up here. I think it was the Hive Alive. Now hold on, yo. Let me get back up here and make sure that's exactly what it was. Or for the ones of you that know for sure, the dude last name Noel. Is he the one that makes Hive Alive or Hive something? That way I get good confirmation on that. But basically, that's all that is from the reading was the Dr. Armine, the one that did all from the University of West Virginia, and that went down to help all the people down in Florida with their M treatments. Him and Noel is the ones that pretty well come together and said, hey, look, my product is pretty well the same thing, essential oils and a little bit of, I think it's some salt and something else they put in there. But that was one reason you have such good healthy bees, because of the essential oil that they're putting into the product. But I had to go back and find whichever one that was. Not too much.
And I see Philip Morris and Larimore have been talking about, and a lot of it, some of the stuff's not working because of the temperature ranges. Most people have. We need to find something. If we're going to use something that's for them, then need something that's going to be working multiple type of climates instead of just a specific temperature range.
You told me put it away, and I can't look it up without hooking the Wi-Fi up again and all that. But you was talking about putting things in there for the temperature ranges. Building your own homemade formic acid and using the heat from the brew to activate the formic, I believe it is, and causing it to gas. And it did it in small doses, making it by their ways of making it, putting it on some kind of pad and deal, and you basically have some kind of slow release off of it, but to use very, very small amounts and doing that way it doesn't harm the bees at all.
Yeah, Lee, I got my refill.
She had to have it because she was like,
if this is going to be the conversation tonight, you better find a way to spice it up or I'm going to run out of coffee real quick.
I thought I made you mad. That's why I thought you left. I'm joking.
I ran out of coffee. That was my main reason for getting up.
I was like, oh, here we are. We're talking about this.
But for the ones of you out there, if you're worried about viruses from the M's or American foul brood or Nosema, check out the the Oxford Academy Journal of Insect Science, and you can read the whole everything in here. There's a lot of it. So
I like Grayson's comment.
move on, Tim.
No, he said I feel what he's saying. Where'd it go? Said the beetles. Hadn't seen too many hive beetles so far, but I know well I hate them with all my heart.
Yes, buddy.
Like,
yes, sir.
I feel you, Grace.
Yeah. That is our nemesis for sure. Get out. Go. But I wasn't able to. I was G-hawing and I couldn't see much of the comments there. So you have to read them comments.
Okay, y'all. Nobody get fussy.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. You can't hear tone of voice in the chat room, so I don't know if they're fussy or if they're just talking.
It was stirred.
My little girl wants attention. Anna, my girl wants attention.
She's like, hey, Jasper's on there.
Let me see if I can try this a second. Oh.
There we go. Chloe's her name.
Look at you. I'm what?
She wants my attention right now.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hop down, baby.
Haley.
What are you doing? You getting yourself stuck in a hole, huh?
Almost always, Mr. Russell. It definitely was not hot when y'all came down here.
No, Lord, no, we got cool for them. We say we truly felt bad for them. Think y'all gonna come down here, get some beautiful 72 degrees and low
And
humidity.
it
Yeah, then it snowed on them.
I got 9 inches here in Dothan.
Shoot, y'all got way more than us. We only
got about 5.5.
Yeah.
Hey,
it didn't go away. It shocked me.
Jay?
Yeah, Jay just came in.
What do you say, Captain? Good to see you. Yeah, I didn't think, we was going to get what we got kind of thing. Mm-mm. And I finally got the video put together. I just got loaded on YouTube now. But I know we're a week late, but any y'all interested in our little traveling road show for the snow adventure?
Oh, yeah. He said it was cold with that wind, but it was still better in Minnesota.
Hey, look. Mr. Russell Koopman, I think it was commenting on in one of the chats about how everybody was driving down here. We're driving like 10 and 15 miles an hour, like Pawpaw's going down the road in the snow and this and that. And knowing he wants to get his foot in it and get on down the road kind of thing. But in our little adventure we went on, I was one of them dudes, Mr. Russell, but we were 125 miles away from you on this one. But driving down the road there in that mess, and we was doing I don't think we got over 15 miles an hour going down the road.
Oh, y'all chickens.
Mm-hmm.
I drove in Minot snow where the roads were always packed with snow and ice during the winter. And
we ain't never done that.
50 mile an hour or better. No, I didn't think the snow was going to stick here originally, because when I first went out, it was real fine, real fine powder coming down. So that's going to hit the ground and stay gone, and be gone before you know it. Went back in for a while and went back out, and I saw these big flakes coming out. So, it's coming, it's sticking, it's going to stick now. So it was a shock.
Well, we'll see too, and I'm really hoping the old, I guess, wives' tale is a true one on this. But Lord willing, with all that snow we got,
We'll have a good spring.
Yeah, a show enough nectar flow and
I hope.
pollen season for them bees, for everybody's bees, to be honest with you, because the last year or so, I know around here wasn't too terribly good.
Well, the red maple's already been budding, so it's not bloomed, but it's budding all over the red maple tree right now.
We have got white peaches, and they're putting off buds. Before any leaves or anything like that, we walked past.
They had a flower bud, couple flower buds on before it snowed.
Mm-hmm.
Like just a couple days before it snowed.
Yep. Then that cold got them, but now when we walked out to go to church this morning, they trying to bloom again. And I was like, well, we're gonna have to stake that doggone peach tree up.
Make sure it don't fall over.
If it was anything like last year, that rascal was loaded. Now we got an old, I guess you'd call it old Georgia peach, but it'll bloom, but it will not put off peaches. So for whatever reason, these I guess white peach is all we've ever heard them call. That they blooming like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you try grafting some of that white peach into that Georgia peach, see what happens when you graft a piece into it.
I may do that.
That'd probably be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Could do anything.
You'll at least get one limb to produce something maybe on that tree and see where it goes.
Well, I don't know.
Usually that's what they'll do is they'll take their good production, people who have good production trees, and say the tree's at its limit for age, and they go and get rid of it. They'll take cuttings off of it, plant new ones, and those cuttings go into the new trees to continue that cycle because those genetics get put into that tree.
Now, do peaches need, say, a male and female tree like some other trees do to need to?
I'm not sure about that, to tell you the truth. I cannot answer that one.
Because now on that Georgia peach, we call it, it's lone by itself out there. These other two peach trees, they're up front, but they're totally different variety of peach. But I don't know, looking at the dandelions, them little rascals are popping up everywhere around here. I haven't seen any clover yet.
Henbit's starting to pop up in my yard.
Who was that? Somebody not long ago had a whole bunch of henbit popping up.
So he only has one peach tree and it produces.
Okay.
Ours never did anything.
It'll bloom, but
never put off a lick of fruit until we got these other trees. We're all set 2 months ahead as usual.
That's about right too. I'll say, like even on the privet, they're still loaded down with berries, and usually about this time of the year, the birds are pretty well done pulled the berries off. And I know all the quail. Me and Hannah watched a couple cubby of quail come in one time, and just boy, they cleaned some privet trees up in a matter of minutes. And many of these privets still got the little old berries on them, if you will.
My privet in the backyard still got berries all over it.
Bill said, Tim, the Georgia tree knows it's not planted in Georgia.
Because it's in Alabama. I've been wanting to do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tie a bulldog to it, see it'll start producing.
Jay said a Georgia peach needs a mate too.
Okay. Maybe. I can't. I'm going to say it's a Chilton County.
You going to start lying on accident.
Well, I ain't meaning to, but if the feller that we got the peach that one particular peach tree that will not bloom. Knowing him, he went and got Chilton County peaches. And y'all, he said he just threw that old hole, y'all know the burl on that seed. He didn't even crack it open to try to help the seed a little bit quicker. He just threw the whole deal in the pot. And lo and behold, a couple years later, that thing finally popped up. But we got it from him when it wasn't just a twig, little bitty old thing. And now it's, I don't know, 14 feet.
A lot taller than me. We're still ain't never eaten peach off of it.
No, now them little white peaches now, when that joker put out last year,
it bloomed like crazy.
And
them things make a really good cobbler.
Yeah, it had some good peaches on there. Them youngins love, once they figured out, oh, you can eat the fruit off the tree, Uncle Tim. But yeah. Every time the youngins come over, they
raided that poor little peach tree.
It was good for that tree.
Oh yeah, none of them peaches went to waste on either one of them. But we wait and see. We do have a lot of things like our little flowers here in the yard trying to pop back up. The lily of the valleys are starting to show a little bit. Some of the, what are your lilies? Your amaryllis. I'm sorry, the amaryllis are starting to show.
They're always really early though.
And the irises are starting to show.
Pop back up.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I know the old timers always around here. You probably heard it too, being down here, but you're gonna have that one last cold front right at Easter, right at or before Easter. So I'm not counting out a freeze completely.
Well, as cold as it's been this year, it could be a freeze.
Which, hey, what was it? That Monday morning before it snowed, we were going to go get materials that morning for work. And probably about an hour before we left out, a fella rolled his pickup truck right in front of the house. And me and Hannah go flying out there, making sure he's okay and this and that. But I'm going to tell you, it was cold, Bubba, that morning. That wind blowing and that temperature got down in the 20s. Hannah went inside, made everybody coffee, the fire department coffee. Poor old guy rolled his truck, got him a couple of cups of coffee, and God love him. Whenever we went to leave, the guy handed me creamer, and he handed me a jar of honey, or a little 1 pound thing of honey. And I said, "Is this yours?" And he's like, "No, man, your wife brought it out here to me." And I was like, "Oh, good grief. I thought you was trying to give us some honey," kind of thing. Was like, "No, you the one in the bind."
The man asked me if I'd make him a shot of coffee while we was standing out there freezing, and I didn't know what he would want with it.
Yeah, but for the most part, I hope we're done with the cold stuff. It's been fun, but I'm ready for the warm weather now.
Well, this is another early season that's different than last year, or last few years anyways. So I'm hoping we're through with it, but I'm not too sure. As cool as it's been, I'm wondering if it isn't going to be a frost, right before Easter.
Yeah, that's why all our fragile little plants, if we see that it's going to go to freezing, we'll drag everybody back inside. And hopefully, like I say, that'll be the last run on any cold weather because between all the plants we have, shoot, we practically fill up our little old house with all the plants.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Philip talking about he got jury duty in the morning.
I don't know.
Well, guys, I'm gonna drop off, guys. I have enjoyed coming back on tonight, and tell everybody else thank you guys for all your prayers and stuff. And, like I had to say, be good, behave, and be high. I'll see y'all later. Yeah.
We're still praying for you, Ed.
Good seeing you. Yeah.
All right. Later.
Later on. What we looking at?
Everybody going to bed.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and derail. I done been on my rant, if you will. Now moving on. That's the third segment of our segments. The derail portion. Now,
Todd.
yeah, we have been to Walmart a couple times, haven't we?
I think we've been one time.
And I did get them, like always. I ain't going in one of them Walmarts without pointing at them. Y'all know that. But
Y'all done.
not much activity between them. I guess they're starting to catch on to me, I reckon. But I'm not looking suspect enough anymore. I need to grow my beard back out. Then perhaps they'll be a little more suspect again on that end. But
yeah,
a while ago when we was talking about me serenading my woman in the pickup truck for these couple hours going down the road to and fro.
I'm glad we entertain you so well, DC.
Singing "Shake Your Pom Pom, Shake Your Pom Poms," "Ain't No Holler Back Girl," "Beans and Bologna." I did get her with that one too, not too long ago, y'all. I told her, I said, look, I said, crank up old Justin Moore, such and such songs. I like old Justin Moore. And she crunked it up. We was listening to the song, and I'm just having me, as Minnesota Mike would say, a grand old time in my head. Happy place. Here we go down the road. Well, the song went off. And I got to thinking, I was like, it sounds like he's saying this in the music, but he's really not. Because he says, how's it go? You take your zip code and you're catching the fish, then something to do with the deer hunting.
Catching brim on a Zebco. Not nothing about deer hunting, but Tim thought he was saying catching deer on a Zebco.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, really? Really?
That's what I thought. I said, catching deer on the Zebco, huh? I wonder if he's using a Zebco 33 or 733. But we got to carrying on, and this is what got me interested. Especially, I know some of y'all will give me your best comment, especially Keith Larimore. But if you could use your
Larimore. That is a good one. He said, I like Brad Paisley's song, I'm gonna miss her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But if you could use your Zebco to catch a deer, what would your bait be? I was telling Hannah, I said, I'd use my 733. All right, I'll get it started. I'll use my 733, a 10-aught hook, a piece of corn cob, and I'd have me about 200 yards of mono on that baby. Sling that joker out through the field and just really start reeling that thing in. and set the hook on that old buck.
What did you say was the bait? What in the corn called? Apple juice.
Apples.
But we talked about we was gonna soak the corn cobs in apple juice or something stupid.
Well, because she told me, she's like, well, you can't use apples because we don't have apples down here. And I was like, we don't have apple trees.
Deer don't know what apples are down here.
But we could soak it in apple juice and give them apple flavored corn. That one.
Mr. Dan says shark hook and a belly snack.
All right, there we go. We got some nibbles on that. But I went down the road 15 miles with her in this. If you could catch a deer.
And on about catching a deer on a Zedco.
I told her one of the hardest part
Really?
is it'll be hard to keep that from the game warden, because as soon as you hook that deer in the side of that mouth and it went to bellowing out, trying to reel that thing in, you got to make sure the game warden ain't around.
An ear of corn on a 10-aught hook hooked to my 30-aught. Oh yeah, DC. I carry those in my purse actually. Yeah, Kyle, we're probably past talking about these.
We can try to get back on these.
We're fixing to wrap it up for this night before it goes too far.
So honestly, when we go talk about these, it's a rarity on this channel. Time to time we'll get talking about them. Yeah.
We just can't seem to stay there. It's winter time. Nobody's doing anything with their bees. Yeah, it happens a lot here. DC said it happens, Kyle.
Well.
It'll be better in the spring.
Yeah. Either you like us or you don't. Ain't no in between.
These dogs seem to go far out. Yeah, Tim nosedives down rabbit holes.
Oh, we're going to head first.
Todd said, I say just drive down that ditch on the side of the road. You don't need a fishing reel.
The heck with it. Just gun it.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, boys. Hold on.
Yeah. But no, I definitely carry both earplugs and earbuds in my purse.
She tries. But then,
as I said, he can go over the earbuds.
I'll be like, hey. And I'll just keep on until I get a reaction.
It's worse than a kid crying to turn the radio on or turn it up. And then as soon as you turn it up, they're going to try to talk to you. So you got to turn it back down. He said when Tim saw Alice in Wonderland, he thought it was a documentary. Oh, man. You're probably right, DC.
Y'all are figuring me out.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put that one in my pocket.
That's hilarious.
Remember that one. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
But that's all I got.
I'm kind of glad that's all you got.
I mean, I'll think of whatever else between here and there.
God. The Alice in Wonderland was pretty funny.
But there's a lot of stuff I honestly forget to tell y'all, and y'all probably happy about that. That way, at least we'll have 10 minutes of big conversation versus let me tell y'all what's happening in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like 2 sips of coffee left.
You better hurry up because they running out fast. Boy, they dropping off like flies.
Yeah, they are. You blame them?
No, I don't blame them. Lord of mercy.
If we weren't streaming on my phone, I'd have ditched you too. I'd have ditched you when you started saying language that means you got to put quarters in the jar.
But we appreciate everybody.
Speaking of, when you pay up on all you owe, I'll be able to go get me a fancy coffee with as much money as you owe that jar. Yeah, I think some bells have done rung out, Larry.
Well, there's another one, but I can't get into it because it's just too bad to talk about. But I took off of that one. But like I said, I can't discuss that.
Steve said, I bet Tim talks to the Walmart greeter for 20 minutes.
I've been known.
They ain't even got greeters at the Walmarts down here anymore. The closest thing to an actual greeter is the Salvation Army people that stand out at Christmas time ringing the bell. They talk to everybody that comes in and out.
Mr. Steve Amos, there have been multiple occasions, I'll just put it like this, as to where I'm done talking to an individual, and as we're going to the vehicle, she goes, well, who was that? I don't know.
Yeah. Or he'll talk for 20 minutes and forget I'm there and not even introduce me to people.
I'm terrible about that.
He is terrible about that.
I'm a terrible introducer.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there has been times that we've gone in that store to get like a little list of stuff or whatever, and he'll find somebody to talk to as soon as we go in. And I can go get everything and come right back to the same spot, and he don't even know I'm gone.
I just like talking to people. Forgive me.
She knows you, Larimore, don't she? He says, I tell my wife I'll be back quick. And she says, no, you won't. You're going to run into somebody you know and beat them gums.
That right there. If I go to the filling station by myself, if I'm going, usually a 10-minute trip takes me about 30 minutes. And so,
minimum.
Well, it's because I run into somebody to talk to.
You right, DC. He has ended up planting a whole lot of seeds in his talks with people.
I do try to talk to people about the Lord. That is one thing I try to make conversation about amongst all my cutting up and carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one subject I am serious on. But I do try to incorporate the Lord in there somewhere. There's one old feller that lives up where Hannah's grandma's place is. I talked to that man. I can't tell you how many times stopping at that filling station up there, and we'd have just wonderful conversation, especially with the Lord. To come to find out, getting to know him, his boy's an NBA star and all kind of stuff. And I'm like, champ, what, you been holding back on all this information? And he's like, well, son, I don't talk about it too much, but I am proud of my boy making it to that NBA. I'm like, well, I would be too.
Steve said, should we change buttons to knobs after the dishwasher incident?
Well, they need an off button, emergency off button on that thing. I know that. Just the event something like that ever happens. That's one thing that didn't have. That dishwasher is probably 40 years old.
No, Larimore, we did not get a dishwasher. Tim blew one up at work in the condo we were working on.
I didn't blow it up.
No, he just turned it on and then it blew up.
Yes.
But we didn't hook it up. It was already in there.
Yeah. So that was not.
Everybody's jumping in. No, he just burnt one up. No, they didn't get one. He just destroyed. Larimore said my dishwasher's in the shower. Yeah, somebody popped off one of those comments at church this morning.
So it is.
Tim was griping about that, and this man, God love him. I love him and his wife both absolutely to death. But he walked up and just as serious as he could be, he was like, "Tim, what happened to the good old days when you just married a dishwasher?" And I was like, "The old days, like that still currently happens down here."
I told him, I said, I like your talk.
DC said maybe now we know why they don't have one. Tim's a dishwasher terrorist. I know, Mr. Dam. I didn't design the kitchen, though. We're just trying to finish it.
Honestly, that wasn't on enough. Like I say, if I'd have hooked it up, then I really felt bad about that. But there wasn't no. The only thing I done was
Okay, Larry Moore. I would not recommend discussing the size of your dishwasher if you're talking about your wife on a YouTube live.
He says she's in the shower, so.
I know. Mr. Dan said nobody wants an 18-inch dishwasher anyway. And Larry Moore said, well, my dishwasher's 62 inches.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you. You better not go to discussing too many measurements.
Hey, we priced that doggone thing, and the cheapest she found one was, correct me on my numbers,
$749.99 before tax.
On that little bitty dishwasher.
Does she come with a hand pump at the sink?
Like old days. So that was even more of a reason, seeing how dangerous them things are. Then what was even more dangerous was the price on that joker. I was like, see,
that's what hurt you the most. Yeah, Steve. I thought a half-size dishwasher would be half the price of a regular dishwasher.
Nope. They outrageous.
Yes. I could not believe what I was seeing. But I looked through every dishwasher they had, and there was nothing under $750.
Yeah, because I was having emotional damage, and she's reading different numbers off, and I'm like, that's the cheapest one they got. She's like, yes, dear, that is the cheapest one.
Yeah, because, I mean, the average was about $900. Like, they had that one dishwasher for $750. And then the next one up was like $900, and then they went all the way up to, I saw them as much as $1,200. And I was like, for an 18-inch wide dishwasher, literally. But see, Steve, that's where I looked, was on Lowe's, and the cheapest one they had was $750. He's saying he sees one on Lowe's for $650. Yeah, I know, Larry. He said I'm a scratch and dent kind of man.
Hey, if we could find one to put in there, that'd be great. But I told her, I said,
Here.
We got to call and tell this man.
He might just tell us to buy a cabinet and stick in that hole.
Yeah, close that thing up and let them. If you come down as a guest to rent a condo, then bring your manual dishwasher with you. But,
keeping so cool.
Yeah, they tired too. It ain't gonna be long. We fix to wrap this puppy up first. We got one more minute.
Be on your own.
Yeah, we fix to wrap it up too.
Steve said my kids are gonna scratch and dent it up anyway.
See, there we go. And it's gonna work just as good with that little bitty scratch in it. That baby will run just as good. Give me that one.
I'll take one with scratches in it.
I know. I like the discount even better. Load it up.
No, DC, we did not install the dishwasher at all. We had nothing to do with that end of it. That's the only reason we can laugh.
No, it's one of them. Any of y'all in construction, we're coming in behind somebody and having to finish out the work that they didn't finish. And Lord have mercy, it took us a day and a half to get the puzzle pieces put together.
Mm-hmm.
Then finally starting to be able to work down there, but we finally getting to figuring out whatever dude had going on, and the dishwasher was the next thing in line.
Philip said you can get a slightly burned one for free.
For scraps. I don't know, that baby put some smoke off, I know that.
Trump might send these dishwashers back to where they were made.
Yeah, send that one back, sure. That's a piece of junk. Throw that trash in the trash.
Mm-hmm. All right, Buttons, I'm out of coffee and brain power.
We're wrapping it up right now.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
You okay? But y'all, we appreciate you watching. God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see you on the next one. And hopefully it won't be too tough. This is for the ones that really ride it out with us. Y'all stay tuned in the next week or so. We're going to be doing the last part of the 1,000 giveaway.
We should be able to do it next week, but it might be the following week.
So y'all don't tell nobody, so everybody and their brother starts coming in here so they can just win something and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing. That way, y'all keep it a secret. Y'all know about it. Then whenever we go to do the thing, we'll drop a little hint for some of y'all to know when it'll be time.
So hopefully we can do it this coming week.
Yep. But till then, appreciate you.
Mr. Dan said sneaky.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you can't play the outro.
I don't know how I'm going to do that. We
got to figure this out.
Let me tell you what, since we're at the end, I can push buttons real quick.
See if you can figure it out.
Yeah, something.
Try to hit solo layout.
Huh?
Just like hit that. Hit solo layout.
We are solo layout.
I know, but I thought maybe it might do something. It's worth a shot.
I don't know what in the world. Uh-oh. Push y'all over like Jasper.
What you're doing.
Me neither.
Larry Moore set up. It's not a knob. Larry Moore said he did it. He did it.
Well, I figured it out now. So if we do have to go out, we can come back in. So, okay.
Maybe.
We're going for real.
I hope y'all have a good week.
That's it. Y'all take care. God bless.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees.